It is 9:18. Well, it's all about hearts and flowers and Valentine's Day, but relationships aren't easy. So we're checking in with John Kim and Vanessa Bennett, who are marriage and family therapists.
Their latest book is It's Not Me, It's You, Break the Blame Cycle, Relationship Better. John and Vanessa join us now live. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, you know what, you guys have been together and you're therapists in your own right, and I'm curious how it works for you guys. Have you lived happily ever after, or you say that phrase is a bunch of baloney?
We just broke up this morning, so
Happy Valentine's Day.
But you did it in a nice way.
Yeah.
yes, with chocolate. Happily ever after. What do you think, Vanessa?
Well, first of all, I'm too young to say if happily ever after, has actually happened yet, but we don't really believe in that term. I mean, it's definitely something that the media kind of sells us. We are big fans of loving the person who you're with right now in this moment, who's in front of you, being present with them, rather than focusing on the promise, focusing on something that we don't know whether or not it's actually going to come to fruition or not.
Generally speaking, people must ask you, how much time do you give a relationship before you say, all right, enough is enough?
You have a good way to put this one.
Yeah, I always say that when you start breaking up with yourself, when the relationship becomes a crowbar to your relationship with yourself, I think that's a huge red flag. It's time to see if the investment is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You also say the idea of there being one person for everyone is damaging. Having the,
Yes.
he's the one. Why is that so?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. So if we are constantly thinking about this idea that there's the one, who's out there, who's the one, in a lot of the relationships that we've worked with as clients, we see it as being almost like an eject button, right? So if I had this idea in my head that there's the one, then if this isn't perfect right now in front of me, then I can hit the eject button because there must be another the one out there for me.
Yeah, I like the idea that the one is the one in front of you,
Mhm.
right? So there's a lot of ones, and who are you choosing to love today is your one. If you think there's someone else, you could leave, or you could make excuses, or you could drift in a relationship because you believe that you're not with quote unquote the one.
You see, the common denominator in failed relationships is the inability to say, I am sorry. Why is that so difficult for people to say?
I don't know, but no one says I'm sorry. I think a lot of
I
people
know.
have excuses, they defend, they explain, but they actually don't say I'm sorry.
Okay, so here's what I've really come to understand. There are a lot of us, I would almost say most of us out there, we have a really hard time separating I've done something bad with I am bad. And so it becomes really hard for us to say I'm sorry because somehow internally we take that to believe that I am bad as a person. It's hard for us to separate our actions from our behaviors. So I think part of learning to be somebody who says I'm sorry is starting to do the work around understanding that you can mess up because we all do. We're all human. We screw things up. And it doesn't mean that you are bad as a person.
What advice do you have to people? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are not with someone. It's Valentine's Day. They're frustrated by online dating. They say they've tried a lot of different things. What advice do you give them to take a first step to try again?
First step.
I like that Valentine's Day. If you're single, it's actually a day to celebrate self. I don't think it's a day that you're hiding or not going out. I think it's great that you're celebrating love, you're celebrating yourself, you're celebrating all of that, and I don't think that it requires you to be in a relationship to celebrate that.
Yeah, and I also think this idea of trying again, we put so much pressure on dating. John and I like to talk about it as if you're just meeting new people, right? We've got to take the pressure off. Again, this idea of the one, that creates so much internal pressure. If I take that off the table, then can I just have fun meeting people? Maybe creating new friendships, maybe creating new relationships that doesn't necessarily have to be romantic.
All right, for more, check out theangrytherapist.com. You can also follow John and Vanessa on social media. Great to speak with you again.
And they're not angry. They're lovely.
Well, let's see what
I used to
happens.
be.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you.